Hello everybody, how we doing today? Happy Friday. I'm so excited for the weekend, you guys. So much is happening. Like tomorrow we are doing the donathon for Jhonny at about 10 a.m. Pacific time, I think, or like mountain time, one of the two. I'll have to like check with her again really quick after stream today, but I'm very excited. We're gonna be hanging out for a couple hours, just playing games together, raising money for Jhonny, stuff like that. So it's gonna be very, very fun. So let me give Jhonny a quick shout out. Okay. There we go. Yeah, so if you guys are wanting to hang out with us tomorrow morning, just go over to Jhonny's channel at Donia2Dawn and it should pop up. Yeah, I'm very excited. And then Monday, I'm doing a awesome collaboration with Tori and Ophi and Cypher, and we're gonna be hanging out and playing some Demonologist. And I think that's gonna be so fun. It's gonna be so fun to get spooked and scared and I don't know, I'm just thrilled, you guys. But other than that, we also are finishing up season 2 of Avatar: The Last Airbender tomorrow night. So that's gonna be so fun. And then after that, I think we're gonna do maybe a week or two of spooky movies because it's October, you know, and then we'll get back into season 3, aka the final season of Avatar: The Last Airbender. And after that, we're gonna do The Legend of Korra. Yeah. And then, yeah, I think that's pretty much all in terms of announcements. But today, we're just going to be hanging out and just having some fun, playing some Star Rail, maybe Wuthering Waves if we end up with nothing else to do in Star Rail at some point. Yeah. So, other than that, let me switch over. Hi. How are you doing? All right. I hope everybody's having a lovely, lovely Friday. I hope you guys are excited for the weekend because it's weekend, you know? Well, let's get into it while we chat. Okay. Well, it expired. Good to know. What are we doing today? Perfect. All right. I do need to farm a little bit. So I'm trying to build Harmony Trailblazer. So we can do that real quick and see. Yeah, that's what I need. Okay. I'm trying to get like an HP sphere because apparently that's what's best for him along with like break effect substat. So if we can get and then bring a support character to get our dailies out of the way. Air, electricity, and wind. What can we bring? We'll bring Frost's Puahua. Her heals and stuff. Alright, let's do this.
I wonder what that is.
The slow simmer over low heat.
Let's say some time.
Perfect.
Eternal. The fear that knows not fear.
Lovely.
Protocol terminated.
Forever.
And we're done. That was insane, actually. Okay, again. I'm just gonna put it on auto battle so it like flies by again.
All will be swept away by the wind.
Never hesitate.
Real Reevaluating.
I feel like really thirsty today. I don't know why.
Victory is inevitable.
Nice. Over 1.5 million. I might save this because I think stuff like that is good for characters like Robin and Robin scales off attack.
Eternal.
Since you're already here, why not have a meal before you leave?
Rebooting.
Nice.
Protocol terminated.
Forever triumphant. Victory is inevitable.
Okay.
Family.
I love how this is done in like less than 15-20 seconds.
Existence is unity.
The fearless knows not fear.
Reevaluating.
Our due.
Application.
Beautiful.
Forever triumphant. Victory is inevitable.
Family.
If anything, at least it gives us stuff to like refine and synthesize, which is nice.
Rebooting. Protocol terminated.
Forever triumphant. Victory is inevitable.
Family.
Okay. We have enough for one more. Mario, congrats on being first.
All
How
will be
are you
swept away
today?
by the wind.
We're just chilling out with some Star Rail and such for Friday.
Reevaluating.
Because you know it's Friday, and then I was telling Chad about the collaboration we're doing for Tony's Donathon tomorrow morning on her channel. And then we have the collaboration on Monday with Ophi and Tori and Cypher, which I'm also very thrilled about. You never know. I'll save that. It is. I'm so happy. I'm excited.
Take a
There's
rest.
so much going on
It's
this
time for
weekend.
tea and cakes.
Dailies are already done. Do a wish for the heck of it. Wouldn't mind getting Lingsha. It did feel like this week was a little longer, huh? But you know, now it's Friday, so everybody can chill out. Okay, do I have any standard pulls? Okay. Gather all of our things. Yeah, we have to do this event. We can do that. And then there's also a character story we haven't done that I want to do. So we have a bit of thing to catch up on with stuff. Festive Revelry. The Lafu Temple Fair is currently taking place aboard the Sky Splitter. Classic CN show immersives, which were once only available offline, can now be experienced online. The Lafu Temple Fair is being held on the Sky Splitter. Take a look. Okay. Holy moly, isn't this the world famous Trailblazer? What a coincidence. I can't believe I'm meeting you here. Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Xiaoxia, an orderly at the Realm Keeping Commission. I can't believe a small fry like me would have the honor of meeting you. You can say don't simp over me, I'm a legend. You want an autograph? Hey, the Arbiter, the legendary Trailblazer is willing to give me an autograph? Are you tired? Do you need a chair to sit on? Are you thirsty? I have red tea, green tea, and floral tea. Honestly, tea sounds so good. you hungry? Wait here. I'll make you a bowl of beef noodles. Zhaosha turns to leave, seemingly preparing to find a place to make you a bowl of beef noodle. Don't trouble yourself. I'm not hungry. Seeing that you are not keen on the noodles, Zhaosha seems to regain his senses and takes a deep breath. Sorry. Did I scare you? Nothing. Sorry, I can't exactly say I'm your fan. What I'm saying is I really admire you, but not to the point where I'm a fan. But you're the second guest at this temple fair, and you could very well be the last one. Actually afraid you might run away. Second one? Who's the first? The first one was a young lady who knew that there are still youngsters interested in her temple fair in this era. She looked like she had fun, was very touched. The budget allocated for temple fairs by the Realm Keeping Commission is dwindling, making it less appealing to youngsters year after year. The temple fair even coincides with the war dances, so even fewer people attended. Honestly, having 2 guests already exceeds my expectations. Where's the temple? The temple fair is actually a tradition from the primeval Imperium era. During festivals, everyone will gather near temples to perform rituals for the gods. Later, it evolved into a market where people would gather and play games together. Back then, temples were a huge part of people's lives, and that's why there were temple fairs. But now the Rainbow Arbiter no longer requires us mortals to build temples and offer sacrifices, and the need for temples naturally went away. But don't you worry, as long as you join our temple fair games, your heart will surely be shouting, Fabulous. How was the Lafu Temple Fair? It was fabulous. Okay. This tagline's not bad. Really? As long as you like it. The other guest didn't say anything. I almost lost all confidence. I don't know what the temple fair is about. It's actually an improved empathic immersion of those traditional temple fair games you used to know. The traditional Xianshou games you had to be there personally to experience are now all available in this temple fair. Isn't it amazing? Sounds decent. Let me try. Awesome. I knew you'd be interested. If you're planning to attend the temple fair, just let me know. I'll help you link up the experience device. I'm gonna take a tour of it. This is the list of immersions in our temple fair. You can view all immersion stages here. As this is your first visit, I'll first unlock your access to the beginner-friendly easy mode. Here you can select the immersion you wish to play. Start with the Hexanex. You meet Zhaosha in a small room aboard the Sky Splitter, where he enthusiastically invites you to the temple fair. Okay. Here we can check the immersion clearance objectives and rewards. Please read the details carefully. Thus concludes the instructions. Now enter the immersions to play. Okay. Oh, and we get wishes out of it. Nice. Ellie, thank you for the check-in. How are you? Happy Friday. In honor of Mario and Kelly being here, let's do a raft while we explore these immersions. Also, guys, I have a little secret to tell you. I have a little secret to tell chat. But I may be slowly convincing Ophi to play Star Rail. Stay tuned. But I sent a TikTok to Ophi like before stream, because the 2.6 trailer for Star Rail came out for the story, and they have a new character they're introducing named Mr. Rekka, I believe his name is, and he's like a psychopath apparently, like from what the trailer has shown. And so I sent it to Ophi, and she's like, "Oh, how I love mentally ill men," and I was like, "Oh, I mean, honestly, valid." But yeah, I love Ophi. She's hilarious. I'm trying, Kelly. I already got her to download Wuthering Waves, and she said she'd do at least one stream of it. So I'm working her into Star Rail as well. But yeah, I adore Ophi. She's so funny. Because like honestly, a lot of the characters I like in terms of like men are also mentally ill. So wow, this magic cube is really fun. You're right. Hexanex truly is the most enjoyable game in the world. Huh. Zhaosha, your temple fair is haunted. Simmer down, player Trailblazer. Valid, Kelly. Simmer down, player Trailblazer. These are just AI NPCs to make up the numbers. Huh? The how? What are you doing here? Congrats, Mario. Oh, also Kelly, and Mario. Mario, I'm not sure if you play Star Rail. I thought you might, but to anybody in chat who plays Star Rail, are you pulling for Linksha? I'm curious. Because I'm like casually pulling for her. It's not like I'm going all out for her. But I really do want to potentially get Rappa, I think is what Boot Hill said her name was pronounced as. Like from what it looks like, she seems like she's from the same planet as Silverwolf. And like I'm intrigued by Silverwolf's planet in terms of the lore. So like I don't know. And her ult is so cool from what I've seen. She's like diving off of a skyscraper and it looks so awesome. But yeah. Valid. Sunday's splash art looks amazing. And then they also revealed, spoiler alert to anybody who's not caught up on the story and doesn't want to know any spoilers, they revealed Tingyun's 5-star splash art last night and it looks amazing. Okay, spoiler alert is over. But yeah, she looks amazing. Like they did her justice. Sorry, my allergies. Okay. I've transferred my image rights to the Lawfu Temple Fair Preparatory Group. Oh. So they can use my virtual emulation as a Temple Fair guide. Wait, why does this remind me of that like most recent Black Mirror episode? That's literally like what happened. Where like they had celebrities sign over their like visual rights or whatever. So they could create AI with the celebrity's face and create like movies and TV shows with those celebrities without the celebrities needing to film. Because like the AI was just using the celebrity's face or whatever. And like it became a whole thing and it was just like really freaky. And then the AI became self-aware that it was like an AI and it destroyed the entire like simulation it was in or whatever. Yeah, it was intense. I'm trying, Kelly. All right. You don't sound like the real Dahao at all. The budget was severely slashed and we couldn't hire a professional writer. We called in a lot of favors to hire a Borisan called Arma from the Shackling prison to write the dialogue script for the virtual NPCs. The Arma Correctional Group is sincerely at your service. Snacks and drinks, daily necessities, service with a smile, medicine for our guests. We aim for your every need at Arma Correctional Group. Sorry, saying keywords triggers my tagline. Anyway, don't mind the details. We're just here to hype people up. Look, it's not just me. Many colleagues in the 6 commissions have also transferred their image rights to the Temple Fair. The entire place will brim with vigor. Okay. Question for chat. If you were offered to like, you know, like sign over your image rights, essentially to like let AI use your face and stuff, would you do it? I'm curious. What, like, do you think that you would like do it? Oh, and congrats on the win again, Mario. I mean, otherwise, it'll just be the player on their own in the arena, all sad and lonely. So scary. You scrutinize the surrounding virtual NPCs. You see several familiar faces. You have to say, this all looks very ominous. Valid, Kelly. It sounds so freaky, because it's like, they're already kind of doing that with audio AIs. Like, I've seen people do like AI of like Taylor Swift's voice, having her say stuff. And the thing is like people have talked about how legally that can get like very, very bad because they can like make the AI sound exactly like the celebrity and have them say like a slur or something like that and pass it off as the celebrity actually saying it and like get the celebrity like canceled and stuff, you know? And like I remember somebody did that with like Taylor Swift's voice where they had her say like something kind of like homophobic or something. And I don't know, it was something along those lines. And people were like, when did Taylor say that? And everybody was like, never, it's an AI. And like, everybody was like, that is terrifying. Like, it literally sounded just like her. But yeah, it's insane. All right, you scrutinize the surrounding virtual NPCs. You see several familiar faces. You have to say, this all looks very ominous. It's obviously made everything more creepy. That's all we could muster with our budget. Just make do. Alright, enough chatter. Come play the Hex and Nexus. I trust I don't have to describe this game to you. This game was once the bane of the Realm Keeping Commission, and now it's featured on the Empathic Immersive platform at the Realm Keeping Commission's Temple Fair. What a dream collab. How did you end up partnering with the Hex Club? Easy. We made him an official offer they couldn't refuse. I mean, isn't the guy who made the Hex club in jail? We literally can walk up to his jail cell and talk to him. Okay. This conversation has almost reached 800 words. The virtual NPC is going to start charging additional server operational fees if you exceed 1,000 words. You're sentient? I'm out of words to elaborate. Have fun by yourself. Goodbye. He really vanished. Forget it. I'm here to turn cubes, not study AI. Let's go. Thought I just felt a bang beneath my feet. That was weird. Rotate the corresponding area of the hexanexus so that the physical blocks of the hexanexus correspond to the plates on both sides. Press the small arrows to select the corresponding hexanexus blocks above and rotate them. Okay. Oh, I think I know. Hold on. Here we go. There we go. Perfect. Nice. I'm really thirsty today. My throat just feels dry or something, I think. Okay. Huh. Okay. I love the little pet that we have. I really hope they keep giving us more. Okay. Let's see. Wait a sec. There we go. I actually really enjoy these puzzles, genuinely. Okay, next. Okay. See. So, let me try something. There we go. Oh, not ruin May with the trash talk. Okay. Oh, wait. So it's all of the different puzzles you can do in the Lawfu. Okay. Oh, and we get so many Stellar Jades. Nice. Okay. Let me see. No, Mario. Aww. Okay. This will actually be fun to do, but let me just kind of back off for a second and take care of other things. I wanted to do that story thing that we haven't done yet, the character quest. But let me also salvage the stuff that we don't need. Here we go. We'll run another raffle in a little bit. Here we go. No, I don't. Okay. Oh, we actually got one. I just have to hope the fourth thing rolls into break effect then. Okay. I'll save that actually because that has a pretty good substat. Oh, I didn't. Oh man. Oh well. Okay. Well then, on that note, I was like, yeah, it's over here. Swords to plowshares. Go to the Palace of Astrum's backyard and check on March 7th swordplay training. Okay.
Take a rest. It's time
Ever
for
since
tea
March
and
started
cakes.
learning swordplay from Yenqing and Yunli, her voice has been absent on the Express.
Oh, they miss her.
I wonder how well she's progressing. Where has she been these days?
Have you seen March 7th? She didn't turn up to practice. I plan to go look for her. I was just planning to look for her. Frankly, I haven't seen her around either. Oh. If I can't find March 7th, then I can only seek out her legal guardian, which is you. I'm not her legal guardian. You can look for Mr. Yang or Miss Himiko. If they're not there, you can find Dan Heng. Too many names. Can't remember. I was ordered to instruct her in the ways of the sword. She can skip class, but I can't skip my duty. You need to talk about your child's behavior, Trailblazer. How about this? You come find me at Arum Alley. I'll wait for you. Okay.
There you are. I was looking around before you got here. I already looked everywhere, but March 7th is nowhere to be found.
Okay. No need to keep looking for March 7th. Maybe March 7th is actually...
Forget it. Let's just assume she successfully skipped class. Actually, she's been quite diligent in her swordplay practice and hasn't taken many breaks lately. I think she deserves a day off. Besides, I used to skip classes.
It's a
even more than
Peachy.
her
Oh my
back when
god.
I was still learning. If I was in the mood, I could train for 3
Happy
days
Friday,
straight.
Peachy.
But if I wasn't in the mood, none of my seniors could find me. So, I can understand where she's coming from.
How's your Friday? Do you have any plans for the weekend? Looks like she learned it from her master.
Don't make excuses for her.
Hmm.
Since you're here, let me treat you to some tasty food. I'm more interested in you today.
Me? Interested in what?
Let's walk and talk.
Oh, D&D? Oh, that's fun. You're gonna have to tell us all about it.
Dad told me there's tasty food in Arum Alley.
Oh, the
Let's go
Archon
there.
quest is... Oh, I loved it. I think you'll love it too.
Steam buns! The buns are huge!
A table for 2, please.
All right, come on in. What would you like?
Well, we'll have
You will, Peachy.
one of everything on the menu.
The entire menu?
Do you think it'll be enough?
She's worried we won't be able to finish it all. Did she? Oh, I'm
don't
sorry,
worry.
Ophi.
There are 2 of us.
Yunli looks at you confidently.
Well, then I'll start making a few dishes, and if you need more, just let me know.
Thank you.
Are you sure we don't need to look for March?
No, I've thought about it. She deserves a day off.
Do you usually eat a lot?
Yeah. I mean, not too much, actually. Grandpa said to never be stingy when it comes to making friends. So, how big is your appetite?
My stomach is a bottomless pit.
Ah, then eat to your heart's content.
Did you just say you're interested in me?
Well, to be more precise, I'm interested in your sword. Yanqing mentioned you before. He said that you're not to be underestimated, and that your weapon has a unique shape. So, I've always been curious about your sword. How the weight is distributed, what material it's made of, whether it contains any special ingenia, and what kind of sword techniques you use.
It's not a sword. It's a baseball bat.
Seriously? A bat?
Are you disappointed?
Just the opposite. This is fascinating.
Okay. You place your beloved bat, your most trusted companion, perhaps the second only to the likes of March 7th, Don Hung, Well, Teammate Go, and Pom Pom, for Yunli's gaze.
So, it really is a baseball bat. Grandpa said that a sword doesn't have to be constrained by its shape, so, in a sense, your bat is a sword too. He also said that a weapon mimics its master, so your bat actually reflects your habits and nature, you know? Let me guess. You're someone who doesn't follow the rules, enjoys improvising, and can handle yourself well against tough foes. Am I right?
Have you been secretly filming me?
Amazing, right? And I bet you always say something silly like, rules are made to be broken.
Oh.
I've come across so many sword wielders who acted all righteous and moral, but were really just liars. Their swords always told the truth, though. They told me that their wielders were just a bunch of frauds who relied on their divine weapons for everything. I've hunted down hundreds of swords like this so far, and every single one of them has been melted down.
But what if you make a mistake?
Swords are more honest than words. It's much easier to judge a sword than to judge someone's words. So I rarely make mistakes. But just looking at a sword is not enough. Grandpa always says, words and expressions can be deceiving, but in a fight to the death, a sword's movements never lie. The war dance is just around the corner. You'll be participating, right?
Miss Yun Li, for talented swordmasters like you, the war dance is a perfect opportunity to show off your skills and make a name for yourself. But for people like him, who have already made significant contributions to the Xianzhou, they maybe don't need to prove themselves on the war dance stage. It has been a while, Mr. Nameless.
And you are?
This is Madame Yukong's secretary.
Thank you for your introduction, Mr. Nameless. I'm Shi Kuei, and I work in the Palace of Astrum as the secretary for the Helmmaster. I apologize for interrupting your conversation. I happened to hear you discussing the war dance, and since this person is an old acquaintance, I thought I'd come and say hello.
Are you hosting any guests, Miss Shikwe?
Yes, with the war dance approaching, many guests from afar are pouring in. Mr. Pavo here is one of them. He's from the distant planet Kalevala.
Ooh.
Mr. Pavo's planet recently joined the Pan-Cosmic Trade System. He brought his delegation here this time, not only for business, but also to return something that belongs to the Xianzhou.
Miss Shikwe, the word gift is perhaps more fitting than return. While it did once belong to the Xianzhou, we faced many tribulations to be able to deliver it here, so it should be considered a gift.
I apologize for my poor choice of words. Mr. Pavo's delegation brought a legendary Xianzhou sword that had been lost for centuries. General Huayan plans to personally thank them at the Palace of Astrum and present the sword as a prize to the champion of the war dance. Mr. Pavo and I were actually on our way there. Since you two were talking so enthusiastically about the war dance, Maybe you'd be interested in joining us at the Palace of Astrum?
Okay, but what about the food?
Nice to meet you both. The journey to the Xianzhou Lafu wasn't an easy one, but the scenery here is worth it. It's completely different from my homeland. Once the formalities at the Palace of Astrum are finished, I'll find a quiet spot on this street and plant a seedling. And then my mission will be complete. The Sword of Heroes will finally be returned to its rightful owners. I couldn't be happier.
Okay. Let's talk about Kalevala.
Oh, you're interested in my home planet? That's great. Your Excellency is welcome to visit us at any time. Even though the trade route just opened, it still might take around 200 system hours to get there from Pier Point. But our planet is really great.
Speaking of, I'm so excited for the next world after Penacony, because I guess there's already details starting to come out about it. It's called Amphorius, I believe. Because like Black Swan recommended we go there. And oh my god, the way that people are describing it already is like awesome. Like they're saying it's gonna be kind of like inspired by ancient Greece. Like ancient, like modern ancient Greece, if that makes sense, like mixed with like divine elements. And so I'm like very, very curious, because then that makes me wonder, does Dr. Ratio come from there? Because I think I saw somebody kind of pointing out like, oh, that kind of matches like Dr. Ratio's aesthetic. And so I don't know, I'm fascinated, because then maybe we'll get like more Dr. Ratio lore. And I remember I saw someone make a video when the details started coming out. And they were like, I better see characters like the ones they made for Reverse 1999 when they were doing kind of like ancient Greece or whatever. Or like not ancient Greece, but like Greece. And they were like, I better see characters like that, because no one will ever top Reverse 1999's character designs, essentially, is what they were saying. But yeah, so I'm very curious and very excited.
Yeah, sure, it's a bit cold and the food is a bit repetitive and our houses aren't as fancy as those on Pier Point, but that doesn't matter. We've discovered massive supernium deposits, and we're on the path to prosperity.
Let's talk about the sword.
Oh, you mean the Mieka Kivesa? It's an incredible sword. That weapon helped the legendary heroes of my homeland slay demons, and is highly revered. It also has the power to choose monarchs.
Welcome back,
All the
Peachy.
ancient kings of Kalevala received a sign from
To celebrate you coming
showing they were
back.
worthy to rule the land.
Good luck.
According to tradition, each monarch would plunge the sword into a stone, and only a hero recognized by the sword could pull it out and ascend to the throne next.
Is it some sort of biometric technology?
Well, those are just legends from the past. No one today has witnessed it firsthand.
Why don't you keep the sword for yourselves?
Well, times have changed, and now that we have a council in place, the idea of a sword crowning a king has become a joke. Besides, it wasn't a native of Kalevala who last pulled out the sword and recognized its connection to the Xianzhou ship. It was a visitor from afar. While the sword holds great historical significance for Kalevala, it doesn't truly belong to our world. The old-timers on council had a heated debate about whether to return the sword. They eventually unanimously agreed to let the Mieka Kivesa return to where it truly belongs. That's the best possible outcome.
Okay. I'm going to witness its return too.
Wonderful. It's an honor to have so many people witness the sword's homecoming.
Hi.
Let's head to the Palace of Astrum together.
I'd love to take a look at that sword too.
I know, right? Thanks to March 7th skipping class.
Congrats again,
On
Mario.
the fun.
You got a lot of luck
Always
today.
asks me to go look at swords with him, but he hasn't said anything about this one. It's really weird. But now that we're invited, let's go and check it out.
They are. They went in like everybody's chat.
For tea and cakes.
There you are. Come on. Let's go to the ceremony together.
Let's go. Argenti? That is so random.
Please allow me to offer a sincere compliment, my fair lady. Your beauty is as pure as a snow-white iris.
He is quite literally the Tartaglia of Star Rail. He's just everywhere. Like, you could go to the most random planet and he would be there. And I love it, honestly.
Well, if it isn't my dear friend. Glad to meet you again.
Right, Peachy?
Who is this weirdo?
Okay.
Who is this knight?
I am Argenti, a member of the Knights of Beauty. I was invited as a part of the Kalevala delegation to escort the legendary Mieja Kivesa back to the Cienjo. May I have the honor of knowing your name?
My name
He's
is
so
Yunli.
pretty, Mario.
What a beautiful name. I wonder if you have ever heard the holy name of the pure and flawless goddess Adrilla.
Oh, you're here, Yunli. Didn't expect you to be so well informed. Well, now that you're here, don't forget your manners.
Manners,
Ooh.
manners.
I ship it, Peachy.
Come on. You won't find another granddaughter as polite and well-behaved as me.
Well, just remember this is a very serious ceremony. Sorry for keeping you waiting, Mr.
Right,
Pomo.
Kelly?
Now, let the sword gifting ceremony begin.
Before the ceremony officially commences, I want to express my gratitude to the Knight Argenti. Thank you for enlightening us about the sword's origin and for escorting it here safely so that we may complete this ceremony. On behalf of the Kalevalan delegation, I, Pavel Kalistaya, am here to return the legendary Mieja Kivesa to the Cienjo Alliance, its rightful homeland.
I'm truly grateful for Kalevala's noble act of returning the sword and for the Knight of Beauty's chivalry. Now, as we gather here on the Cienjo Lahu, I officially welcome the sword back to its homeland. Mieja Kivesa. It's a fitting name for a sword with such a legendary past. I still remember the name engraved on this sword the day it was forged. Gu Yin.
Like from Genshin?
Forged by Han Guang, a craftsman from the Ju Ming's Flame Wheel Forge.
Wait. Hongguang?
Although its blade is worn and cracked, its essence remains as resilient as the Cienjo Cloud Knights. All it needs is some repairs and polishing by the skilled craftsmen of the Artisanship Commission to regain its former glory. I've decided to entrust this sword, Gu Yin, to the Lawfu Artisanship Commission for restoration. Furthermore, it will serve as the prize for the champion of the Lawfu War Dance. This sword will be wielded against abominations to protect our homeland and live up to the mission of the Kalevalan delegation that returned it from so far away.
Thank you, General. It is an honor for Kalevala.
Now, esteemed knight and delegation members, please head to the Artisanship Commission, where...
No! This sword was forged by Hongguang.
Okay.
Yunli, these esteemed guests have brought back your father's work. Where are your manners?
Oh, I didn't realize this sword was actually forged by your father. Returning it to its rightful owner is,
Grandpa, give me that cursed sword right now. I'll melt away the remnants of that man's curse once and for all.
A cursed sword?
Don't be rude, Yunli. Apologize to our esteemed guests from afar.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for making a scene, but I have to melt down this cursed sword. I won't let it fall into anyone else's hands.
Yunli, please, go for now.
Argenti's intrigued.
This is exactly why I didn't want Yunli to know about this. I didn't want to create trouble, but trouble found its way here anyway. Perhaps it really is divine intervention. Could you, please, keep an eye on Yunli for me?
Sure thing. I'll make sure she doesn't get into any trouble.
That is a tall order, but I'm counting on you. I apologize for the unfortunate interruption. Let us move on with the ceremony.
At the fervent plea of Huayan, you temporarily depart from the Palace of Astrum to pursue Yunli.
Unless I'm mistaken, Yunli should be around here somewhere.
There she is. What's wrong, Yunli?
Did Grandpa send you to look for me? I bet he did.
Actually, I'm here because I care about you.
Really? Thank you. Just so you know.
Thank you
I'm
for the lurk,
here
Mario.
Just waiting for the perfect moment to snatch that sword. And once I have it, I'll melt it down before anyone can react. Don't even think about stopping me. No one can stop me.
No one can help you if you don't explain what's going on.
Grandpa sent you here. Surely he doesn't want you to help me. Have you heard of cursed swords? That sword is one.
How so, though? So it's like a sacred sword that's been corrupted?
You've clearly heard a lot of folk tales. But that's not the kind of cursed sword I'm talking about. A cursed sword lets anyone, even a complete novice, wield it with insane skill. Just by holding the hilt, even the weakest rookie can brandish it with incredible speed and strength.
With something like that, March 7th could graduate in just one day.
I'm not joking around. And I'm not making up some crazy story. While a cursed sword grants instant abilities to its wielder, it comes at a cost. It's like continuously adding fuel to the forge. With each swing, the sword drains the wielder's blood and essence. Day by day, the fuel will run out, leaving nothing but an empty husk. Soon enough, it will no longer be a person wielding a sword, but a mindless, killing machine, consumed by bloodlust and murderous thoughts.
So it's like being possessed by a heliobus?
Oh, so you're familiar with Heliobi. That makes this much easier to explain. There was a lunatic swordsmith who infused metal blades with Heliobi, as he was obsessed with turning weapons into living things. And this is how cursed swords were made.
Can't you just exercise it then? So your father sealed a heliobus inside that sword?
I know, I shouldn't have caused a scene at the sword gifting ceremony. But I've thought this through. If I don't make a fuss now, that cursed sword will cause a whole lot more trouble. So it's better if it's me causing the trouble. By the way, aren't they supposed to be taking the sword to the Artisanship Commission for repairs? Why haven't they come out yet? Any ideas?
Maybe there are other ways out of the Palace of Astrum.
Looks like they're not going to show up here. I'll just head straight to the Artisanship Commission. It doesn't matter why Grandpa chose that sword. I won't let it fall into anyone else's hands. I'll track down every single sword he forged and melt them down one after another. Just like I've been doing all these years. I have to go now.
Is she planning to sneak into the Artisanship Commission and steal that sword?
Go.
The Artisanship Commission is so big. Where could she be?
Just a while ago, a girl came up to me, all fierce and demanding directions. She said she's a member of the Artisanship Commission. Do you know her?
No idea who she is. If she really works here, how can she not know her way around?
Was she carrying a massive sword?
Yeah, she wasn't big at all. But that weapon of hers was pretty intimidating.
She was in a hurry, heading straight for the Artisanship Commission, and I didn't want to ask too many questions.
She said something like, "I'm a member of the Artisanship Commission. Where do you keep your precious stuff?" I got scared and pointed her toward Master Gongshu's warehouse, where he stores his arumatons.
Wait, why did you give her directions? What if she's planning to steal something?
Let's cut to the chase. Where did she go?
Where else? Like I said, she was headed straight for the warehouse, where all the valuable arumatons are.
Yeah, that place is filled with Master Gongshu's precious arumatons. I bet they'll give her a hard time.
Okay. Oh wait, I have to activate this from like the other way around, huh? How does one... get there? There. Was that a chest I heard? Or was that the teleport? That was a teleport. Okay.
Yeah. What are you doing here? Look, if I get into trouble, it's my problem. I don't want to drag you into it.
Is this really the time to talk about that? I promised your grandpa that I'd keep an eye on you.
Fine. Let's smash these metal cans first. Then we can talk.
Let's do it.
Refusing the toast? A little more heat.
There's more to life. Existence is unity. Every petal in life's garden, all will be swept away by the wind.
Perfect.
I'm honored by your presence. Since you're already here, why not have a meal before you leave?
Show me what you can do. I'll give you 5 seconds. The fearless knows not fear. I venture forth to hunt. Forever triumphant! Victory is inevitable!
Awesome.
That was the last of them. Thank you for helping me out. This place is heavily guarded, but there's nothing but arumatons. Where is the arsenal? Seems like not even those craftsmen know where the arsenal is. At this rate, we won't find anything. And Grandpa might take me away before I can do anything. You're not really here to help me. You're here to stop me, right?
You know, this cursed sword isn't just your problem.
No, it's not. Grandpa made a promise to the delegation, and going back on his word would tarnish his reputation and make things difficult for the Luofu. But leaving that cursed sword here will also make things difficult for the Luofu. So all things considered, the best outcome is for me to melt that sword down and take all the blame. You probably think I'm being impulsive and unreasonable, right?
I just feel like you're too obsessed with cursed swords.
No, really. Do I come across that way? Well, I guess I can't deny it.
Now you have a chance to explain yourself.
Seems like you've met a lot of people who don't tell you the whole story.
Why don't you just tell me everything?
Look. I owe you an explanation. But this isn't the best place to talk. We need to find somewhere else. Let me be clear, though. I'm still pretty riled up. This is just a temporary break. I already told you about Guyan. The sword that was returned during the ceremony. It's a cursed sword, with a heliobus inside. And Han Wang, the swordsmith who forged it, is my father. I rarely mention his name to anyone other than Grandpa. Maybe, like you said, I've been avoiding having to talk about him. But as long as my mission to hunt down cursed swords continues, it's impossible to avoid the topic forever. For some reason, I feel like I can open up to you.
Aww.
Honestly, I don't remember much about him. All I know is that the Pyrogyre Forge used to be a bustling place, with people from all over coming to get one of his swords. They called him the greatest master craftsman since Yingxing. I didn't catch all the details, but I do remember seeing him forge those amazing swords, while the visitors watched with smiles on their faces. I used to believe that craftsmen brought happiness to others. The swords crafted by the Pyrogyre Forge are famed across the stars. They possess exceptional sharpness and invincibility. With these legendary weapons, even ordinary people can become skilled warriors, capable of overcoming the most formidable opponents. But then, he became obsessed with becoming a famed swordsmith, and started crossing all sorts of lines. He forged cursed swords that should never exist. And all those people who desired those twisted swords started flooding into the palace. However, just like Grandpa said, those who excel with the sword will eventually suffer by it. The palace was overrun with visitors from afar.
Oh.
Some left empty-handed. Others got swords that didn't fulfill their desires. And some even resorted to stealing. And in the midst of all the chaos my father created, he ended up being stabbed by one of the swords he forged.
Ugh.
It was so sudden and unexpected. unexpected. Everything went silent for a moment. All I could hear was the sound of bones breaking and blood pouring out. I was frozen in place, unable to move. It was only when my mother pushed me away from the deadly swing of the cursed sword that I managed to escape.
Oh.
I don't remember much after that, except for the pounding of my heart and the sound of my own gasps of breath. I could hear the smiths in the Pyrogyre Forge shouting, "Run away, Yunli," and the screams of agony. My tears wouldn't stop, and I couldn't see anything. I kept gasping for air until I collapsed in a pool of blood. If General Huayan hadn't arrived in time, I probably wouldn't be here talking to you now. After that, General Huayan took me in and treated me like his own granddaughter. To me, he is 100 times better than my sinful father. He taught me forging and swordsmanship. Han Guang paid for his sins, but his troubled legacy must not go unchecked. According to the records, he forged a total of 1,382 Heliobus cursed swords, and 182 of them had unique designs. When I joined the Pyrogyre Forge for training, I made a vow to hunt down all those cursed swords. So far, I found 312 of them, and Guyan will be my 313th. Like all the other cursed swords, I'll separate it from the Heliobus. Then, I'll melt it down and make it part of the Blade of Forged Remnants. I've said my piece now. Even though it'll be tough for Grandpa, I still have to melt down the sword.
Okay. I think you should talk to General Huayan about it.
So, you're saying, even though Grandpa knew it was a cursed sword, he still chose it to be a prize because he thought it wouldn't cause any trouble? No. No matter how I think about it, something is definitely off. Grandpa didn't tell me anything about the ceremony. He must be hiding something. Besides, after our argument today, you want me to go back and talk to him now? No way. At least not today. Maybe tomorrow. Somehow, after talking to you, I feel like I've cooled off a bit. Well, I'll have an honest conversation with Grandpa tomorrow. And I won't take any action against Guyan until he gives me his reasons.
Don't forget to apologize to General Huayan.
Yeah. I shouldn't have done that in a public place. Anyway, thank you. We'll catch up tomorrow.
I should go back to the Palace of Astrum and tell General Huayan what happened at the Artisanship Commission.
Okay.
My home planet made its fortune through the mining industry. My granddaughter didn't cause any trouble, did she, young man?
Let's explain her situation. You explain what happened in detail, and his nervous expression eases a little.
Sorry for all this trouble. Yunli told you quite a bit. Now it's time for this old man to tell my side of the story. Han Guang was my beloved disciple. A rare genius not seen in the Pyrogyre Forge since Yingxing. However, talent can sometimes be a curse. He had an unusual fervor for forging, and he dreamed of forging a sword with self-awareness that surpassed that of humans. He believed it would make warriors invincible without any training. According to him, while weapons of mass destruction like dooming flames and alchemical arrows can destroy many enemies, true victory lies with soldiers who fearlessly fight, ready to lay their lives on the line. Usually, Xianzhou swordsmiths infuse a basic level of awareness into their swords to make them easier to wield. But even then, soldiers need to experience countless battles to overcome fear and sharpen their instincts.
So he thought of using a heliobi to absorb emotions.
By infusing heliobi into swords, he managed to forge weapons that could grant their wielders strength and valor, and even make decisions for them. However, weapons are different from regular tools. They are meant to kill, plain and simple. After countless battles, all the anger, fear, and bloodlust are soaked up by the heliobi within the swords. The soldiers wielding them not only gain strength, but they also become consumed by the malice, turning them into puppets possessed by the swords. No matter how noble Hongguang's intentions were, those weapons, soaked in blood, turned into cursed swords eventually. Later, Outworlders got wind of what he was doing and encouraged him to keep forging cursed swords. They came up with all sorts of reasons, from taking back their kingdoms to slaying demons. And you know what happened next. That massacre took her parents' lives, and the lives of many craftsmen in the Pyrogyre Forge. Yun Li managed to survive, but she couldn't escape the horrors of that day.
Why you didn't want her to see the sword?
Yes. I don't want her to spend her whole life trapped under her father's shadow. She doesn't deserve to carry the weight of his mistakes. Despite her vow to hunt down and wipe out all cursed swords, fulfilling that vow requires immense effort. Traversing the starry seas in search of the swords is like finding a needle in a haystack. And to reclaim those swords, she has to duel the bloodthirsty wielders, teetering on the edge of life and death. She has taken back over 300 cursed swords, and has suffered the same number of fatal wounds. I took her in to give her a chance at a normal childhood, not to send her on a sword-hunting journey. Even if she manages to melt down all the cursed swords one day, what will she do with her life after?
Does that sword actually contain a heliobus?
Gu Yin is indeed one of the cursed swords forged by Hongguang. Very few swordsmiths could use heliobi as forging material, and Hongguang was one of them. His attempt came at a terrible cost.
He plans to talk to you tomorrow.
I thought this sword could be an opportunity. I wanted to tell her that her father wasn't all evil, that even the man she resents so much managed to forge a true sword of heroes. I also wanted to find a chance to tell her about the history and origin of this sword, but not during the ceremony. As you saw, it wasn't a good time. I've instructed the Artisanship Commission to keep the sword safe in the arsenal. If you have any doubts, feel free to ask the people involved.
Master Gongshu, there's something I want to talk with you about. General Huayan gave the Luofu a sword called Gu Yun. Don't you worry. General Huayan has already conferred his instructions. Right. I heard from my apprentices that a young lady with a sword barged into the Artisanship Commission. That's General Huayan's granddaughter, right? Is she here to chat or kidnap me? Please calm down now. She already promised me that she wouldn't take Gu Yun until we've confirmed the situation. What? He's coming to steal the sword? My nerves can't take much more of this. The Knight of Beauty just escorted the sword of the Artisanship Commission. Currently in the armory without a chance for compromise or mishaps. You just relax. When I have the time, I want to hear that girl tell me why she tried to steal the blade.
Since my granddaughter mentioned talking to me tomorrow, I'll be waiting for her. By the way, you watched over her for quite some time. You must be exhausted, aren't you?
Totally exhausted.
I'll be counting on you then.
Time to go back and find that class-skipping March 7th.
All right.
My home planet made its fortune through the mine.
After finishing it all, you returned to the Express and came face to face with March 7th, caught skipping class. Oh, this should be interesting. Sipping milk, tea, and gossiping, time slipped away unnoticed. The next day arrived. You there? Are you able to cooperate with us for a bit? Here to come by the Artisanship Commission? Did something happen to the sword? Whoa, I didn't even say anything. How'd you know? Correct. The Artisanship Commission said they received a sword yesterday from General Huayan. Today, when we checked in, the sword vanished. Anyway, the Realm Keeping Commission is officially conducting an investigation and is interrogating the relevant individuals. You suspect me? Come on, my lad. It's just a routine questioning. But you did attend the sword gifting ceremony yesterday at the Palace of Astrum, and some craftsmen said they saw you at the Artisanship Commission. Anyway, anyone who attended yesterday's ceremony and lacks a clear alibi will be considered a